Hello, my name is Wildstag, and thank you for tuning in to another used book rant. Today, I'm going to be doing something different, and it is a book, but it's not a narrative book. Honestly, it's more a board game that I found at a used bookstore and wanted to share with everyone. The name of this game, the Con Game, was released in 1989 and 1990, and I purchased this copy for $6. It's only a few pages long, 6 pages of rules with a couple optional rules within. The way I bought this copy was with all of the cards and all of the chits still on the original sheet, so I had to spend time folding them and tearing them apart. So I didn't get a picture of that. It did feel kind of dirty to be doing that. This game is 30 years old. I could have copied all of those cards and then printed them or something like that. It felt wrong to me. But this is a game that was made to be used. So what I'm going to do today is discuss the rules and then discuss how it played out when I finally played it with a group of 4, myself included. So right off the bat, this was written by Greg Porter, published by Blackbird Tactical Research Center in Richmond, Virginia. The introduction reads, Con Game is the game of game design where you, the gaming peasant, and up to 5 friends or enemies can attempt to break into the satirical, cutthroat, and potentially humorous world of game manufacturing. While this could be more easily simulated by tossing a coin, if it lands on edge, your company stays in business. Drawing out the agony of total financial ruin is half the fun. This game is based very loosely on real-life experience, observations, and rumors that circulate among the more rarefied gaming circles, but anything that remotely resembles reality must solely be by coincidence only. Otherwise, we might get sued by those starched shirts in the industry who lack a sense of humor. It is explicitly a satire of the gaming industry, as it says, but it does have a very interesting gameplay mechanic. And also, this game is old enough that it didn't come with guidelines on ages, how many people can play, and how long a game should take. It does kind of say 5 or 6 enemies or friends. This game is limited in player count by how many player sheets there are. I think if I did that right, there are 6 player sheets visible. The game also comes with 6 colors of chits: green, an orangey red, a blank white, a blue, a faded orange, and a gray. As it says in "da pieces," and that is literally what it says on this page. Da pieces, D-A pieces. After mortally mangling your durable plastic bag to get all the components out, you should see before you the following: an 11 by 17 inch map in glorious colors and black, depicting the known world, or at least the parts of it that are important to game sellers, with a production track to record the status of games in the works. Record sheets, wherein you keep track of your games that are on the market and their popularity, as well as the amount of money that you have amassed through your creative and Machiavellian efforts. Lots of cards which must be cut out and all shuffled together into one big mess. A bunch of counters in different colors with numbers and words on them, so you can identify which game is which on the production track and which areas of the globe your products are carried in. This is the map. The separation of countries, so to speak, are the US and Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the British Isles, Scandinavia, Japan, and Western Europe. What's funny is that Germany isn't called Germany, and this game is old enough that it only has Western Germany, not all of Germany. So Western Germany is labeled Europe. The other countries in the Western Europe region are Italy, France, Spain, and Portugal. And the game takes place over the ending conditions for this game are either reaching the 20th turn. At the end of the 20th turn, the richest player wins, or the first person to reach $100,000. How you play this game is this circle here is the production and market tracker. On the player's turn, they have a number of actions and cards in their hand based on whether they are a part-time game designer or a full-time game designer. The differences are in expenses and in income, as well as in actions and in cards in the hand. Expenses for every employee is $2,000 per season. Every season, you lose $2,000. The part-timer, however, makes $2,500 from their part-time job, and so they get an increase equal to $500. The full-timer starts with $10,000 and has no passive income. The part-timer starts with $5,000, but they have that passive income of $500 per turn. And so here's an example of, say, a hand. So this hand is 5 cards. This is the front of these cards. And on the production track, there are 4 different sizes of product. There are either small, medium, large, and monster. The number of actions it takes to progress through the production track is dependent on the size of the game or product. However, the bigger the product, the bigger the payout. As an example of a product you can make, in my hand here is a magazine. It is small. Its cost is set to $2. The Sorcerer's Mimograph. Just another game magazine? No. You'll read each issue of SM like you expect it to be the last. And then you have different modifiers. So I have a hand here of 5, and that would only be possible if I were a full-timer. Supposing I was making enough money, I could then play a card, the new employee card. You hire a new employee. They cost $2,000 expenses at the turn you hire them, but you do not gain the extra hand size and actions per turn until the next turn. So it costs to put it down on the in the game, but it provides you more actions and more cards so that you can do more things with what you have. This game lasted 2 hours when I played it with friends. It took a bit of time ironing out the kinks. This is one of those games that there are no how-to play videos on YouTube or online at all that I can find. There's no guides or instructions aside from what are in the booklet. So it was difficult. There was that learning curve, but once we started understanding the actions available to us, turns started going rather quickly. The only issue was that a couple turns I forgot to move the counter of turns, so it really lasted closer to 24 seasons rather than 20 seasons, but that was entirely my fault. This game is fun though. I really want to introduce it to more people, and that's partly why I'm making this game, this video now, but I'm going to bring it to game nights with friends, and whether that's visiting home and bringing it on the plane ride over, or whether that's a game night with friends here where I work and live, it's going to be used. And I think from the people that played it, it's going to live in their memories as something they might want to play again. So, did I get my $6 worth out of it? Absolutely. Can you find this online to buy yourself? I don't really know. I think your best bet is going to be looking for it on eBay or Amazon.com, some major marketplace where someone might be selling it used. Altogether, I loved it, and I think if you're the sort to like board games and game nights with friends, this is a game, if you can get past that learning curve, that you're really going to enjoy. As an example of one of the cards that really made the game especially funny for us, when I played this game with friends, there were two cards that really just had us uproariously laughing, and the person who played these cards ended up winning the game. The first card is an RPG. It's small, which means it doesn't take much to produce, and it has a cost of $5. The name of the game is Macho Bimbos on Wheels. The descriptive text: a game with no redeeming features except guns, tasteless humor, and exploitation of women. Sure to be a hit. So the player who played this played that game early, ramped up its popularity as best he could, and started making supplements which increased its popularity and provided their own passive income. Popularity means that you can earn more money because it is that popular. Eventually, he also played a different card called Academy Award. The Academy of Adventure Game Critics nominates your game most likely to be bought by neo-fascist perverts. Move popularity up one notch. That one was almost tailor-made for Macho Bimbos on Wheels. And really, it had us, as soon as he played Academy Award, all of us were reading the description. We were laughing for several minutes on end. It was pushing him even more wealthy and closer to the end, but it was just so priceless that moment really is stuck in my mind of what this game can be. There are random elements in this game, such as having to roll a die, a 6-sided die, for a distributor, and one playtesting blip, some part of a rule that didn't seem to be written down and that we had to interpret ourselves, was that when you are looking for a distributor and you cannot make money on a game unless there is a distributor, when you are looking for a distributor on the map, the numbers in those circles for each region are the number of players that can have a distributor in that region. But there are no rules texts saying whether or not you can have multiple distributors within one region. The implication is that no, it's one distributor per region and you have to branch out. But because there wasn't any explicit rules stating that, we ended up going with a more permissive rule that you could have multiple distributors in one region. Either way, this was a really funny game and we all loved it. I'm going to be bringing it back to every game night. Hopefully we can get more people. And now that we know we have some people that know the rules, it will be easier to explain in the future and easier to get moving. So the con game was an exceedingly fun board game. If you want to check this out, I would suggest looking for it online. This has been Wildstag, and thank you for tuning in to another used book rant.